I'm Nathan Barry. I own 𝗬𝗪𝗟 Contracting and Home Services.
My name is 𝗬𝗪𝗟𝗟. I'm the owner of 𝗪𝗪𝗟𝗟𝗟 LLC.
So my name is 𝗬𝗪𝗪𝗟𝗟. I own a business called Phoenix Central Home Services.
My name is John Sherman. My name of my business is Affordable Handyman and Hauling.
My name is Mike Neal. I run a handyman business, The Humble Handyman.
Hi, I'm John Floyd.
My name is Joseph Vecchio. I'm 17 years old.
My name is Brittany. I own a business called The Humble Homemaker.
So my name is Dan Vecchio. I'm Joseph's dad.
My name is Luke Maines. I'm from Murray, Utah.
Yeah, Ray, my name is Greg Schwan.
My name is Alexander, and I started a handyman company there about 6 years ago called Hank's Handyman Services.
My name's Kelly Rigby. Actually, we live in Oklahoma.
My name is, first of all, Josué Navarrete, right? I was born and raised in California.
My name is Britton, Crawford Contracting.
My name is Adrian Moeller, owner of HMI Pros.
My name is Robbie, owner of RobertOwensHandyman.com.
I'm Elijah Hudson. I'm the helper.
My name is Bob Belts, Belts Concrete and Home Solutions.
My name is Jerry, Suburban Specialties.
My name is Matthew Richards, full service handyman, Dayton, Ohio.
My name is Troy. I run the Denton Handyman.
And my name is Ray Duke. Welcome back, everybody. Doing a live stream in front of the computer again. I haven't done these because I started doing my morning walks. So welcome back to the office. I hope we got some people in here maybe that can't make the morning ones, and now you're able to make the evening ones. If you'll look in the comments section there's a link, and if you click on that link, you can come in here live, just like a call-in show, but instead of just calling in, you'll be on video. Now, there is also an option for you to not be on video and to just call in on audio as well. Hold on, my dog wants me to yell at him because as soon as I started the live stream, he started barking. Get down! Nobody wants to hear you. Sometimes he likes to just jump up on the fence and bark at the neighborhood to let them all know he's still around. So, welcome in. First and foremost, if y'all have any questions, just throw them right out there right away. You don't need to worry about interrupting me. I've got a list of things that I'm going to talk about here, and when I get done with them and there's no more questions, then I'm going to be done. And if there are more questions, I'm going to keep going, and your job is to throw all your questions in whenever you feel like throwing them in. They can be about handyman stuff. They can be about anything in the world you want. So I'm going to start going down my list, but do not let that detract you from putting your questions in or from clicking that link and coming in here live. And just in case, I'm going to throw that link in again. I don't know if y'all have it. If I threw it in like right as we started, so I don't know if you can see old links that I put in before you were in here. All right. Descriptum said, hey, Ray, good to see you. You too, sir. So let's see. What's the most exciting stuff? I'll tell you what I'll start with, actually, is number 6. Number 6 is I'm going to be in Austin June 8th through 12th. I'm actually going to be a speaker at IPX 2026, which is a convention for a platform that a lot of different brands like Next Insurance, they use that platform to find influencers like me when we're doing this whole thing that we're doing. I don't even like the word influencer, but I'm going to be speaking there on two panels. One panel is going to be about using AI, and the other panel is actually about growing profitable, growing profitable YouTube businesses and maintaining strong communities, about that intersection of like keeping that strong, tight community while getting bigger and bigger. So I'm going to be in Austin June 8th through 12th. And the reason that's important is because anytime I go anywhere, I like to meet up with you guys. Oh, I just realized there's a whole new one. Hold on. There's something else I'm going to talk about that I forgot to put in here. All right. So I'm going to be in Austin June 8th through 12th. Now, June 11th is the day that I specifically would really like to meet up with you guys. I'm going to set aside the entire evening of June 11th. So like, let's say 6 p.m. until midnight or something like that to just hang out with y'all. We're going to find a place that's got like outdoor seating, great food, music, just a great place to hang out. And we're all going to hang out. However, the whole week of June 8th through 12th, if y'all can't make June 11th and you want to meet up for like a coffee in the morning or whatever, I'm also open to that. And the way that I would like y'all to go about keeping this together and letting me know that you're going to be around in Austin during that week to hang out is if you go to bulletproofhandyman.com, I created an event. You can go to the events tab, or you can just scroll down. You'll see it. There's an Austin event. Please do get yourself signed up for that. Partly what that's going to do for me is it's going to let me know that you're in Austin and interested in hanging out, because what I'm going to be doing is sending out mass emails updating everybody on my schedule, when my flight lands, when my flight takes off, what hours I'm definitely not available, what hours I might be available, what hotel I'm staying at. I'm not scared, right? Nobody, don't come murder me. But as long as you don't come murder me, I'm just going to put that information out. I like meeting with my tribe. So go to bulletproofhandyman.com to sign up for Austin, June 8th through 12th. Next, we have, there's a whole bunch of exciting stuff to talk about here, by the way. So again, throw your questions in whenever you have your questions. Don't think you're interrupting me. I'm just trying to fill the time in between you guys asking handyman business questions. So feel free to throw them in anytime. Next is going to be a new video series that's coming up, and it's going to be very AI dependent. It's going to be a 4 or maybe even 5-part series. We're going to go over things like, if you don't know anything about AI and you just need to get started, we're going to do like an AI beginner's guide. We're going to do a video about how you can use AI to help price your jobs, but really more importantly, actually, there's going to be 2 that are in that same row. One is going to really focus on how to actually use AI to price your jobs. I have a tool on bulletproofhandyman.com you can use to price your jobs with AI. And I have my rate book, which you can also use, which I used a lot of AI to put a lot of pre-established stuff in there for you. But this video is going to be more about describing to you so that you can break free from me. You don't need to rely on me for this. I want you to understand how to use AI to price your jobs independent of me. So I'm going to have a video on that. I'm going to have a video on how your clients are using, both properly and improperly, using AI to price your jobs. Your clients are checking your prices with AI. The problem is many of them aren't doing it right, and that's going to be bad for you. So you're going to need to be able to understand how to price jobs with AI, specifically from the client viewpoint, to explain to the client how just the words they use are going to make a really big difference in what answer they get. And hopefully, chances are, that your prices do line up with the prices that they're going to get, like ballpark reasonably, if you understand how to explain to them how they should be talking to AI about your work. So that's a whole series, and there's other stuff in that series. It's going to be a 4 or 5-part series. I'm almost done outlining the entire thing. Edward Pitkin, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming in. Speaking of Edward Pitkin, I'll move on to the next subject. The next subject is going to be, and Edward was my guinea pig, I'm hooking y'all up with free websites. Edward can verify for you that they're free because he's built his and he's published it, and it's live, and it was free. It didn't cost him anything, just like it's not going to cost you guys anything. So I've got a deal with Replit set up where I get codes, and if you use my code, you get 1 free month. I'm going to have something set up for you guys. There's already an event that you can go click on right now at bulletproofhandyman.com to register. Now, I don't have all of your secret codes for you and stuff. That's going to get emailed out in the next few days. But basically what's going to happen is you're going to come and do an onboarding. You're going to come do an onboarding session on bulletproofhandyman.com on a special link that you can't find unless I send you the link. And you're going to get a special code. So even if you find the link, you can't actually go do your onboarding without the special code. You're going to go in there, you're going to answer a whole bunch of questions, upload the photos. You're just going to follow the instructions, and you're going to give the machine everything that it wants. And then on webinar day, on build day, you're going to show up. You're going to get a copy and paste or a downloadable document from me. You're going to click a link. You're going to get your free Replit account. You're not going to have to know anything. And this is the bigger point. You're not going to have to understand or know anything. You're just going to fill out the information I told you to fill out, download your form, click on the link, start your Replit account. I cannot stress enough the extent to which it's free. You're not going to have to put a credit card in or anything. You're going to go in there in your free Replit account. You're going to drop this form that I gave you into the box, and you're going to hit go, and it's going to build you a website. When it's done building the website, you're going to go click around, make sure everything works well. You're going to be inside a webinar with me. So if anything doesn't work well, you're going to be able to ask me right there on the spot. I'm going to tell you exactly what to tell your Replit AI agent to get it to fix your problem. And by the end, you're going to have a fully functional, I mean fully functional, professional, customized, outstanding website just for you and your business that you paid $0 for. And if you want to publish it, you can literally publish it right then and there. And if you have a domain to hook it up to, you can hook your domain up to it so that when people type in your domain, like if you went through GoDaddy or someone else to get your domain, there's a process to get that moved over, or you can just point it from there to there. It's a whole process. It's very easy to do. But the point is, you will be able to build your entire website. And it took Edward, I think the first site that it built for Edward, it took about 6 minutes. And then just for funsies, we redid the prompt Edward was basically helping me beta test. So we redid the prompt and sent it all through. Again, the second site that it built him, I think it took like 5 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes. I don't even remember. But it's free. It's full. It's complete. You'll be published online so that people can start clicking on your link and going to your website and requesting your services literally within, 20 minutes, Edward, I think, probably from the moment we started to the moment that we felt like, man, this is the second site, and it's a done site that really only needs like minor tweaking from here, probably 20 minutes. So y'all will have me to help you out through that entire process. If you want to get your free website, just go to bulletproofhandyman.com, look at the events. The event is already there. Sign up for the event. Now, I will say, if you're on bulletproofhandyman.com a lot, you may need to do a refresh, like a hard refresh, which is, you let me know if you need to do that, and I'll tell you how. I'm not going to waste webinar time for it. Chances are it's just going to show up anyways. So go sign up for that event. And in the next few days, you're going to get a link and a code to go put in to do your onboarding. And again, I cannot stress enough, this is free. If you love your website and you just don't want to host it on Replit, that's fine. Build it there for free. And then there's a button you can click to literally download your entire code base, and you can take it and host it wherever you want. So let me build y'all some free websites. It's going to be fun. All right, we got Austin. We got the new video series coming. Replit website builder webinar. We're done with that. Let's see. 𝗬𝗪𝗟𝗏 said, just wanted to ask you to say a couple of words about your trip fee strategy. Can you explain, is that fee cover any job, or is it just a fee to show up to the property? Thanks. So 𝗬𝗪𝗏, I'm going to call you Disc, I guess. If you want to give me your actual name, I'll try to start remembering. And I do try to learn y'all's names over time, although I do suck at it. But Disc, here's my answer to that. You can think of your trip fee as a trip minimum if you want. But the trip fee is the minimum amount that you're willing to show up at a job for. Period. End of story. You will never, ever, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute smoke detector change. And a little caveat here, I have discounted little 5-minute smoke detector changes. I'm not saying you can't discount. But the standard is, no matter how easy the job is, no matter how short the job is, no matter what, it's the least amount of money you'll show up on the job for. When I started, my trip fee covered the first hour of work. Later on, it covered the first 30 minutes of work. The better I got at getting work done, the less work I want to include for the trip fee. And now it just covers whatever I decide it covers. But basically, if it's, let's say, a 15-minute job or less, my trip fee is going to cover it. And my invoice isn't going to say the words trip fee. My invoice is just going to say labor, and then I'm going to describe what I did, and I'm going to charge the trip fee for that labor. The only time you're going to see the word trip fee on my invoices is for a move out, because on a move out, the trip fee itself only covers the driving, the measuring, the inspecting, the going back and forth to Home Depot, the waste disposal, stuff like that. So trip fee for a regular job, it covers you getting there, and it covers whatever amount of work you decide it covers. If you're early on, let it cover an hour if you want, or less. The more experienced you get, the more valuable your time is, the less of it you want to include for free in that trip fee. Because there's a lot of jobs that you can do in like 15, 20 minutes that are worth $200. So don't worry too much about what it is. Just know you should never charge less than that amount. Edward said it took about 25 minutes from start to finish for both websites. There we go. 25 minutes start to finish, 2 websites, with the second website being the better website. So there you go. Edward's gone through the process. Edward, did you have to pay anything? You've got the whole thing. You can download it and take it somewhere else if you want, or you can stay on Replit for like $25 a month and just host it there. All right. Next. Did I talk about? Yeah, I talked about the whole thing, the webinar. Let's do the next one. How about any new questions? Nope. You're welcome, sir. Texas Bunkhouse Retreat, April 16th through 19th. This is another one of those things, if y'all don't know, I do a lot of stuff not here in Arizona. I try to get out to where y'all are at. Gamer Mark said, Sup Ray, watched all your videos, been super helpful. Awesome, man, I appreciate it. So, Texas Bunkhouse Retreat, April 16th through 19th. What that is going to be is we are having 60 of you guys, and there's like 17 seats left. We've filled up most of them, but there's, I think, 17 seats left. We're going to have 60 of you guys in Texas, Bonham State Park, just northeast of Dallas-Fort Worth. We're going to be in a bunkhouse situation, so you'll need to bring your blankets and your pillows and your bedding and stuff, as well as whatever you need for the showers. There is a shower. There are restroom and showers available right there on site, not down the road, right there at our little thing that we're doing. We have bunkhouses. We have 4 of them. So 3 are going to be for men. 1 is going to be for women. You can bring your wives. This one is no children. However, if you're in a position where you've got a +1 that's a kid, like, for example, I have one guy coming who's a grandpa raising his grandkid, and he cannot. There's nobody for him to leave the kid with, so he's got to bring the kid. So I'm all about family. I just don't want kids sleeping in bunkhouses with a bunch of adults for obvious reasons. So I have a staff building that I'm in that fits way fewer people. And if you have to bring a kid, you can stay in my staff building with me with your kid. But even that, I really want to minimize. If it's not necessary, please don't. But 60 or more of y'all, I may open it up for more if I have to, are going to come to Bonham State Park. You're going to sleep on a bunk. You're going to get all your meals served to you. It's lodging and meals provided, all of it provided. It's a big old, giant, amazing handyman weekend that we're all going to do together. Edward Pitkin actually was at one of these. I did one in Tennessee, although it was like 20 or 24 people or something. It wasn't 60, so this is going to be fun. Edward, I believe, is actually coming to this one as well in Texas. He's going to come and volunteer. If nothing's changed, I think he's coming to volunteer to just help me with all the cooking and organizing, because it is going to be a lot of work. But you guys should get signed up for that and come on out. Again, it is April 16th through 19th. That's a Thursday through Friday, Bonham State Park, fully paid for. And I want to be very clear about something. This was paid for by Ergo Next Insurance. Nobody's going to pitch you, by the way, while you're here. This is not a timeshare weekend where we try to get you to buy a timeshare all weekend. I have a hard red line that I've drawn with my brands. If you choose to sponsor one of these weekends, I will talk about you and pitch you before the weekend, and I'll talk about you and I'll pitch you after the weekend. But during that weekend, that is our weekend. Nobody's going to ask you to buy any insurance while you're there. However, before the weekend, right now, how do we get Next Insurance to pay for this for us? We go click on their link in my description and we get a quote to say thank you for sponsoring the weekend and the channel. And I want to say one more thing. I just had a meeting with them, and I'm going to say this so many times because I was shocked. I went into the meeting thinking they were going to want me to like prove to them that it's worth their money, or they're going to want something more from me for their money. And you know what they did was they said, Ray, we love your channel. We love your community. We love everything you're doing. We don't want you to change a thing. We just want to know, number one, what are your plans for 2026? And number two, how can we help you achieve your goals and support those plans and support your community? Because we love working with you. They didn't want anything more from me. What they wanted was for me to tell them what they could do for us. And I told them what you can do for us is simply just continue to support the way you have. Sponsor these events. They are so valuable. These guys at these events, they go home from all of these in-person weekends that we do. Everybody goes home with renewed vigor, more knowledge, more wisdom. The old guys mentor the young guys, and even the young guys mentor the old guys. Everybody's got somebody to contribute, and some of y'all might just sit around and listen, but everybody goes home changed. Everybody goes home with a new vigor, new ideas, and just a new lease on life, ready to dive back into their handyman business. That's what this is about, and you can thank Next Insurance for it, and you can thank them by going to the description. Actually, not of this video. This is the only video right now where I don't have the description because it's a fresh live stream I'm doing live. I'll update the description later. But go to any of my videos, use my link. That's how they know that I sent you, that it's because of their sponsorship, is by using my link. It's going to be a great event. Edward said everything was included with the Replit service link that you set up. I did go through the entire amount of credits doing more edits and modifications. So Edward, after we were done, went and talked to the AI more and did more edits to the site and did use up all his credits. You can get more credits, of course. You can buy more credits, or for the $25 a month that you pay to host your website there, if you just wait for next month for them to roll over, you have another $25 worth of credits, which will actually get you quite far on Replit. So over time, the idea is maybe you include a new service and you want to build a whole new page for that new service later. Your credits accrue over time. So as your website is sitting there, someday you want to go just do a whole new thing, you can go and talk to your AI, upload photos, tell it what you want, and it will make all of your new pages for you. I cannot stress enough, you don't need to code. You don't need to go click menus and go like add template, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do that. You just talk to an AI with natural human language, like you would Paul Dardeau if Paul Dardeau was your developer. You just type to the AI the same way that you would just call Paul on the phone and say, hey, Paul, can you fix this? Texas bunkhouse retreat. I'm going to dive into something real quick that I want to be clear is not on the books yet, but it might be, and I'm very excited about it, which is Talladega. Talladega, April, it's like the weekend of April 23rd, I think. It's the next weekend after I'm going to be in Austin. Jobber might be flying me out to Talladega. Now, Jobber doesn't know for sure if Jobber is going to Talladega for that weekend, but they think they are, and they've asked me to set that weekend aside because if they do go, they want to bring me along, so I'll be there. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's like a Wednesday or Thursday through a Sunday, maybe a Thursday through Sunday. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's the next weekend, Talladega, for the whole NASCAR thing. I may or may not be there, but it looks like I will be there. If I am, just like the Austin event, even though I'm there for something else, I'm going to try to fly in a day early or fly out a day late or both. And I'm going to try to make sure I have enough time and space to see you guys and hang out with you guys. And of course, if any of y'all can make it, we can hang out at Talladega and actually watch the NASCAR race. So that's just a cool little extra. I wasn't even planning on talking about that. It is not set in stone, but I'm kind of excited and I hope it does happen. Where are we at? Edward said, and at this moment, the plan is to come and help out in Texas. I've gotten my ticket for the trip as well. Awesome. Gamer Mark, speaking of Next, I've had trouble with Next and getting it set up. Okay. So Gamer Mark, go ahead and email me or tell me here exactly what you're having trouble with. I do have videos on the channel just showing literally step-by-step what to click as you get your insurance quote. My recollection, the last time I did one, and maybe it's time to do it, to just do a new video guiding you through it, but as you answer questions, eventually you get to the end and you get your quote, and when you get your quote, you can just choose to pay for it or not to pay for it right in that moment, literally. So email me or tell me what your specific issues are right here in the chat, and maybe I can help. But if nothing else, I will absolutely get you set up with whoever you need to get set up with at Next to get it set up. But it shouldn't be, unless, now sometimes there's stuff that you say when you're applying that makes it so that because of selections you've selected, they can't give you a price right then and there, and you have to wait, and somebody will either call you or email you, I don't know how it works, and get more info and then get you a price. So let me know, but reach out, all of y'all actually, for any reason whatsoever. bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com. I answer all emails that y'all send me at bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com. Edward said the average initial cost to build the entire website with prompt Ray builds for you, it costs less than $3 in credits. Yeah, and to be clear, y'all aren't even going to have to pay that. What's going to happen is the site you get is a free first month. So that free first month comes with $25 in credits. And what Edward's telling you is, because we checked this while he was building, is out of that $25 worth of credits, it built the entire first site for $3. And then we had it build an entirely brand new site, a whole different site. Just reran the whole prompt and made a new site. And that one was like $2 and something cents. And then you have all those other credits left over to just do the editing or to do 18 different sites. Well, not 18, but you could do like probably 7 to 10 completely different sites for those $25 in credits. Gamer Mark said, doesn't Jobber have a website builder? Yes, they do. If you want a simple website, Jobber absolutely has a website builder, and it is 100% free. And I want to say, don't quote me on this, I believe Jobber's is 100% free to build, and I believe you get to have your site and have it hosted and just like done and yours for free as long as you're a member of Jobber, which, by the way, there's going to be a link in the description of this video or all of my videos for my link to Jobber to get you 20% off for the first 6 months. But yes, Gamer Mark is correct. There is a website builder. I've actually done a video. There is a video on my YouTube channel about how to build on Jobber's website builder, where I went and tested it out and showed you its functionality. The thing is, it's free, right? So you can have really great functionality, like an amazing website, and pay very little money. Or you could pay more money and have lesser functionality, which is okay. You don't necessarily need a lot. Either one is fine. You know, I'm also with Wix. Wix builds great websites. Wix can do a little bit more than Replit can do without you having to attach external connectors, if that makes any sense. So on the hierarchy of functionality, at the top, you've got Wix. You can do a lot with Wix, but you do need to know some stuff. However, Wix has a lot of integrations that's going to do a lot of things automatically for you that you can't do on Replit unless you go, like, for example, if you want your people to be able to send you an email through the site, like where they fill out a little form on your website and then just click submit and that form gets emailed to you. If you want that functionality, you're going to need either Wix or Replit plus, what am I using? WebShare, I think. There's a bunch of different sites, but you'll need Replit plus some external connector, as opposed to Wix, where that's already included. On Jobber, I don't think they have anything where they can do a form to send you an email, but on Jobber, you have your Jobber request button, so they just send you the request directly through Jobber. On Replit, you can also put your Jobber request button and it'll send it directly through Jobber. But with Replit, if you want certain features, like, again, for them to be able to fill out a form and have, essentially to have your website send you an email on Replit, you will need an external connector. They're not hard to do, but I'm not trying to complicate it with those things. So what I have set up on Replit is you give it your email address, and the only difference is when they click to email you on your Replit build site, if you don't want to go get an external connector, when they click to email you, it's going to bring up their email account with your email address pre-populated, and they can just email you that way. So all viable options. Wix is viable. Jobber, the free one on Jobber, is viable. It's just way less functionality, but it's still a perfectly good site. And then Replit is my favorite in the middle. I don't mind going and just logging on to a new website, copying and pasting a code over so that I can get my emails sent over to me. But they're all viable options. Oh, sorry, guys. My sinuses are horrible. I've been sick forever. I'm really getting over it, but it is just lingering and lingering ever so slightly. It's just hanging on, really hanging on. Paul Dardo, I was just talking about you, sir. How are you doing, Paul? Gamer Mark said it might be the choices I clicked, but I'll look at your video first, then email if I can't get it. Yeah, feel free to email anytime. You should just get to the end of the process and get a price. You should either get a price or you should get some kind of message that says they're going to reach out to, like, wrap everything up. Also, feel free to just start over and do a new quote. But I will tell you, if you watch my video, you're going to do better, because my video explains to you what to click and also why, and what to think about before you answer certain questions and click certain things. But feel free to email too. Adam from Havasu said, good evening, everyone. We're finally getting busy after the holiday slump. What is up with this early heat in the Southwest, right? My mom came to town. When was it? It was early March. It wasn't even late March. It was early March. My mom just came like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it was 100 degrees here. Not happy about it. Edward said, I have the jobber request form for bookable basic services, live Google reviews, and an API for a contact form for other not offered services, all integrated into the website. There you go. Edward got it all set up. It's easy stuff. The reason that I'm trying to do this for you guys is because you kind of have these two tiers where you've got down here, you've got the jobber website. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's a great website builder if you want a basic website and if you're not trying to use your website to get clients, right? If it's just there to sort of exist as a place for your current existing clients to go, and maybe for a few new clients to find you, jobber website's fine. One tier up from that is the Replit, and one tier up from that at the very top is the Wix. And the Wix is just going to be more complex. It's going to have a great AI builder, but when you want to change things on Wix, it's going to take a little more work for you to get that done. Same with GoDaddy. GoDaddy has a good website builder. Edward was actually on that. I think he said it was a decent one. I don't have any affiliation with GoDaddy, but I did like them, except I didn't like their AI website builder, but it's probably better by now, so you can check that out too. But with Wix or GoDaddy, you're still going to have to know some things and click some things and understand some things in order to edit your website. As opposed to Replit, where on Replit, you can type in, you can just talk with natural language, as I was saying before, the same way that you would instruct Paul Dardeau. You call Paul Dardeau and you say, hey, Paul, can you replace that picture with a picture that I just sent you on the website? And Paul can go in there and change it. Or on Replit, you just say, hey, Replit, here's a picture. Can you exchange that picture for that? Or you don't even say, hey, Replit. You just say, we just started offering gutter cleaning services, and I'd like to make an entire page on my website about gutter cleaning services. Here's some pictures. Here's a description. Here's our pricing. What am I missing? Ask it that question. What am I missing? And it'll start asking you some questions and telling you some things, but it's going to act like a Paul Dardeau. It's going to be somebody that you can talk to that understands your words with natural English language and can help you build your site without needing to really know anything and without having to go all the way down to the jobber level where it's just not that functional. Not functional. Jobber's functional. But go all the way down to the jobber level where there aren't so many features and stuff that you can add. That's what I'm trying to say. Gamer Mark said, Jobber's Grow service is still the best, or do you like the Connect one? Oh, Grow is the best for me. You know, Jobber there's the core plan, which to me, the core plan is, if you're somebody who really, you're just like, I just want to be able to send out some damn invoices and stuff. That's the core plan. Perfectly fine if that's what you want. For some guys, that's all they want. That's all they need. And that's a good plan. The Connect plan is in between the core and the Grow. The Connect is going to give you basically all the features that you want. If you're not in the mode that I got into right around year 2 or 3, like in the middle of year 2, probably, I started realizing what I need now is efficiency. I had the demand worked out. I had plenty of business. I had plenty of customers. What I didn't have was enough time to make all my customers happy. And what was standing between me and more revenue was efficiency. That's where, for me, that's where the Jobber Grow plan came in, was because the features they offer on the Grow plan save you hours per month or even hours per week in some cases. And so you start looking at that and you go, man, you know, if I can save, like one of the things on the Grow plan, I think that's still reserved just for that, is estimate follow-ups. So you sent an estimate, you didn't hear anything back. Sometimes you've got 20 or 30 estimates out that you haven't heard back from, and you have to take a half a day or a whole day to call 20 or 30 people and figure out what's going on with their estimates, as opposed to having the Grow plan that will automatically follow up on those for you. What I got the Grow plan for was the optional line items. To me, that was a game changer because I did a lot of vacant properties where they did move-out inspections, sent me a list, I'd get to the property, and there would be all the stuff on that they didn't put on the list. So if I'm doing an estimate and I'm sending them an estimate, I'll use the optional line items so I can optionally add. In fact, I make everything optional, and that was the bigger point, was I got tired of what was happening was I'd send an estimate, and they would email me back and ask me to add or subtract things from the estimate. They'd say, no, take that out and take that out, and then please add this. So I'd have to go and I'd have to edit the whole estimate and resend the estimate. What the optional line items does is you can, number one, you can add in all the extra stuff that you're trying to make more money on. And if they don't want it, they just don't click it. But the other great thing is all the other things that you wrote that estimate for, if they don't want some of those things, they can just not click it. It's that easy. They can just not click it. So no more calling you and saying, hey, how do we make this cheaper? The answer is deselect some of those optional line items until it fits your budget. So that's why I got on the Grow plan. So yes, I still think the Grow plan is the best. They do have, what's it called? Ultra? I don't know. They have one that's called like the Ultra plan, and it comes with like white glove onboarding. It comes with extra special customer service. It comes with tons and tons, just every bell and whistle, all of the features. It comes with a Jobber AI receptionist included. It comes with the marketing package included. All of those are great. I mean, I would pay for all of those as well. The AI receptionist, in fact, I haven't talked about her in a long time, and she's amazing. So y'all remind me to get back into that because she's still there and she's still amazing. And I've kind of stopped talking about her. And that's probably not okay because the truth is, of all the things Jobber has, probably my two favorite features are the AI receptionist and the, I just brain farted on it, the campaigns, the email campaigns, the marketing features that are the email campaigns. If y'all ever get an email from me personally, like out of the blue announcing something or offering something, I did that through Jobber's email campaigns. And what it is everything you sign up for on Jobber, or sorry, every client you do work for on Jobber, anybody who even makes a request, they basically, when they make that request or when you put them into the system so that you can manage their job, they go into a database that you have and you can send out mass emails to everybody. So let's say it's mid-February and the winter break hasn't really ended for you yet and you don't have enough business yet. You got a little false start and now it's slow and you want to kick up some business. You go into Jobber into your email campaigns and you can just send out a mass email to every client you've ever had in your system to offer a discount or whatever. So my two favorites are the email campaigns and the receptionist. But the reason I ever got on the Grow plan in the first place and the reason I would stay on it now, to be clear, it's comped, right? I'm a Jobber ambassador. I don't pay for Jobber anymore. But I was paying $350 a month, even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe at this point. I was paying $350 a month for that Grow plan because it was worth it to have all of that quoting stuff automated, plus the other stuff. So that's the answer for that. Rock Singh said plus package for teams. Yes, are you talking about the plus? Either way, there's teams and there's individual plans. So you have to know that. I'm not going to dive into all that actually in the middle of a webinar. Just know there's team plans and individual plans. The more affordable plans are the individual plans. You can get on individual plans that don't have all the bells and whistles that you need for teams to save money. If you're going to have 1099 contractors, W-2 employees, maybe an office lady or something who's going to do a lot of your admin work. If you need different people logging into your Jobber account and using it, you'll want a Teams plan. If it's just you and you're solo and nobody's helping you, you can go with the individual plan. Gamer Mark said, what do you think about the name? I'm thinking name my handyman company. I want to name it Handy Homies Handyman. I thought homies looked a lot like home, and I'm a younger guy at 20, so I thought it fit. I'll tell you, I'm 45, and if somebody named their company with the word homies, I would 100% never invite them to come work on my house unless I knew them personally or unless homies was like a play on words and it was actually I'll tell you this, where I grew up in San Angelo, Texas, as a high school kid, everybody who used the word homie, and I do mean every single person who used the word homie, was part of the gang lifestyle, whether that was ethnic-based gangs or nationality-based gangs or country-based gangs or West Side versus East Side or Bloods and Crips, did not matter. Every time I heard the word homie come out of somebody's mouth in any serious fashion, that word was used in connection to gang culture. So me, as an old fogey at 45 years old, if I was looking for a handyman on Google and somebody named their business here in Tucson Handy Homies, I would immediately think of gang culture, and I would think I don't want gang culture coming into my house unless it was clear it was a play on words, and you actually show up in a suit and all the handy homies are like wearing 3-piece suits, then I would go, oh, that's neat. You used the opposite of professionalism to make fun of the opposite of professionalism to imply to me, hey, by the way, this is what you're going to get the opposite of. However, Gamer Mark, if you're shooting for a younger crowd, maybe you're actually trying to attract like young 30-somethings and 20-somethings. If they're your target market, they may or may not think of homies differently than me. I don't know how. Y'all can chime in too. We've got 18 people in here. If anybody else has an opinion on the word homies, let me know. But for me, growing up, homies only came out of the mouths of people who were related to gangs. Richard McGuire, good to see you, sir. Happy Friday to you too. We seem to be out of questions at the moment, so this is a good time for y'all to throw in more questions, and I'm going to keep going through my list. Actually, you know what? This is an appropriate moment for this one, because we were just talking about Jobber so much. FYI, Jobber, 2 things. Number 1, oh, tomorrow. I was going to say Saturday. That's tomorrow. So tomorrow, I have a Jobber webinar scheduled. It's a workflow webinar, but I show you my workflow inside Jobber, so you can see how I manage receiving new jobs, putting them through my entire system. I've got some videos on how to do that already as well if you just want to watch the video. But if you come to the webinar, that's your opportunity to be inside the Jobber software with me. You can see how I do it step by step all the way through, but I'm going to show you a lot of extra stuff inside the webinar. And more importantly, that's when you can ask me about Jobber. So if you want to know, like, hey, Ray, how can I change Jobber so that it says estimates instead of quotes or quotes instead of estimates? I can show you how. If you want to say, hey, Ray, how do I set it up so that my automated quote follow-ups, I want to send them 7 days later in the form of an email. I want to send the first one 3 days later as a text message, and I want to send the second follow-up 7 days later as an email, and I want that all to be automated. How do I do that? The Jobber webinar is where you come to find out how you can actually do that. So that's tomorrow. You can go to bulletproofhandyman.com to sign up for it. You can get a link. You can go to the description of this video or any videos. And by the way, yes, technically this video right in this particular moment, this video does not have that link. Every other video does. My website does. Everything does. Go to bulletproofhandyman.com. It's there. I'll put it on this video after I'm done with this live stream. I just didn't put it on before. But know this, right now, Jobber has 40% off. And I'm going to tell y'all they only do 40% off most of the time for Black Friday. Like right around Thanksgiving is the only time a year Jobber typically does 40% off. That's a humongous discount. That's insane. 40% off for 3 months is the biggest they will ever do. You will not see 50% off unless they get desperate or something. Right now, it's 40% off if you get it before the 31st. So again, you want to let Jobber know they're doing a good job sponsoring me. Use my link. Go get your Jobber free trial. Purchase it before the 31st and get your 40% off, because you're going to get 40% off, I think, for the whole year if you buy the whole year, but if nothing else, for the first 3 months. And little secret, this is what I did. When I originally got Jobber, I got it at 40% off for 3 months. They had it like a special, it wasn't an initial getting Jobber. It was just this thing where you could try the Grow plan for 40% off of the additional expense of the Grow plan for 3 months. This is a time right now, if you want to try the Grow plan and see if it's worth it for you, then go get it now at 40% off for the next 3 months. And little secret, you can just change your plan. So at the end of the 3 months, if you don't want to continue on the Grow plan, just bump yourself down to the Connect plan when you go back to paying normal price, or get yourself the whole year when you initially start off. But 40% off is the biggest discount that you're ever going to see from Jobber unless something crazy happens in the future. I just want y'all to know that. So webinar tomorrow, that's where you can come and ask me in detail anything you want about the entire site. I know Jobber like the back of my hand. I know Jobber better than anybody knows any software, because I've actually been running my business with it for the last 5 years. The only thing I don't really know about Jobber is like lots of the connectors, the external services that you can go get with somebody else that connects to Jobber. I haven't memorized all of Jobber's external connectors. And I don't use job costing, FYI. But outside of job costing and outside of all the other external connectors, I know it like the back of my hand. So that's where you come for me to really be able to show you in depth all of the deeper features that you can use. And then got that one done. Oh, we got a few comments. Richard McGuire said, Daryl the Finisher gave you a shout out on his last stream. Pretty much said you're one of the few YouTube handymen that never fell off. You know what? Little secret. I was in there watching at that moment. I was actually there when he said that. I wasn't there for the whole stream, but it's not a secret on this channel. Daryl the Finisher is who I like to watch because, to be clear, I don't think we have to argue this, right? If you come to my channel, you're not going to get like laid back, what's up, here's the handyman lifestyle. I'm a high-strung, like bug-eyed, in-your-face. I love sharing information. I love teaching. I love connecting with y'all. I love helping you start your business. I'm very much go, go, go. Daryl is the laid-back handyman that I sometimes wish I knew how to be. Somebody who can sit back. He's usually got some good music on while he's talking, and he can sit back and just really like reminisce about yesterday and today and tomorrow at the same time and just talk about what it's like to be a handyman. But what's more important with Daryl is Daryl, in my opinion, Daryl, I feel that I can watch his channel and I can tell he's actually a handyman, because there are people who do some of these types of channels, handyman and otherwise, where when you watch them, you kind of get this feeling like you can tell that they're not in that lifestyle and they may or may not have that experience. And when I watch Daryl, when you've done this kind of business for a long time and you watch somebody else who has done this kind of business for a long time, there's just little things about the way they talk about it and sort of what they laugh about and what they look up and kind of make faces about. And you're right there with them because you're like, yeah, this is exactly how it is. And when I watch Daryl, what I can tell you is, you know, I don't know Daryl personally. I got his number. We can text every now and then. But although I don't know Daryl like deep down, we don't go way back. I can promise you from watching Daryl, Daryl is a full-time handyman who knows what he's talking about. And what's great is he's dealt with a lot of homeowners. So y'all can come to me for a lot of the business to business. How do you deal with property managers? How do you deal with realtors? How do you deal with businesses? How do you deal with a lot of how to run your business? But on the very specific topics of what it's like to deal with individual homeowners day in and day out, I can tell you what I didn't like about it, and I can tell you what I did about it when I was working for homeowners, but I quite purposefully decided to never work with them again. So Daryl's a great resource for that too. Y'all, everybody on here, if you're subscribed to me, you should also be subscribed to Daryl the Finisher. I'll say that. But I was in there, I was in the live stream for 15 to 20 minutes. I just didn't say anything because I don't want to distract from whatever he's talking about. I want Daryl to feel free to just do his thing in his live streams. I do these all the time. Daryl can come in here. Daryl, if you're in here, Daryl can come in here and say whatever he wants anytime. I'm happy for y'all to get distracted with Daryl, but Daryl doesn't live stream as much. He's doing more handyman work and less YouTube stuff because he hasn't grown as big as he's going to need to be able to start sort of transferring that revenue source over a little bit. He will get there someday. I hope he does. I hope that's his goal, because similar to, I believe I can provide y'all more value by helping you with your businesses than I can by mostly running my business and then just rushing in here in the evening to do a video. Daryl also, I think if Daryl could get closer to a 50-50 split or even better than a 50-50 split and spend more time training you guys and teaching you guys, I think he can give more value to the community that way. He's just got to get to the point where the revenue can justify taking the time from his business, just like I did. I told y'all in all my live streams coming up, you know, I told y'all when YouTube didn't pay shit. I told y'all when it started paying a little bit more, when it started paying a little bit more. I can remember a time where I got to announce that it was like half my revenue, and now YouTube's like 80% of my revenue, and I'm glad it is. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't want to put a hammer in my hand every day. What I want to do is provide for my family. And the handyman business was the best way to do that when it was the best way to do that. Now this is the best way to do that. And what I get to do now is help you provide for your family. So subscribe to Daryl, you know, whoever he's partnering with, brands that he's partnering with, go support those brands and tell those brands that Daryl was partly responsible for sending you there so that they want to work with him more. This is a mutually beneficial thing all the way around if and when you have integrity. And if you want to know if I have integrity, I guess come to any of my events like Austin, Texas, Colorado. We'll talk about Colorado next, and just fucking meet me. You know what I mean? It's easy. I'm a very open guy. You can email me anytime. I live stream nonstop. You can ask me about anything. Gamer Mark said, I'm probably the only one I know of around Southeast Kansas that uses the word homie. And it's towards my friend's pretty small community about 2 hours from any city like Kansas City and Wichita. Kansas City is a big old city, man. You can go make some money there. 2 hours is too far away, I think, but Kansas City is a big old city. Yeah, nothing against you or anything. I'm just letting you know my honest opinion when I see the word homie. But again, I'm an older person who just comes from a different time, and I came up with that word meaning something different than it means today. Rakesh Singh said, hey, Ray, do you receive your work order in the form of an emailed PDF from your property managers? Do you transpose the info from the PDF into Jobber manually? It sounds like your property managers, I bet, are using AppFolio, because the last time I got a PDF work order was for a property manager who used AppFolio. I don't know if that's still what AppFolio used, because I quit working with that property manager a long time ago. And the ones I'm with currently, they use Property Meld and Rentvine and Propertyware. Those are the three that my current guys use. So I receive work orders in the form of text messages from one property manager, in the form of emails from another property manager, through Rentvine from one larger property management company that has multiple managers, and through Property Meld through another, my biggest client actually, that has like 5 or 6 property managers. So I receive work orders in whatever fashion my clients wish to give them to me. And then, yes, I manually transpose all of them into Jobber. I do. Now, you can use, what is it called? They tried to partner with me as a brand, and they even offered a lot of money, and they didn't fit into what, I'm not going to pitch somebody that I can't use, but I'm trying to remember. Zapier has some stuff where you can use, and I don't know about AppFolio specifically, but Zapier has some stuff set up where you can connect AppFolio and Property Meld and some other ones into Jobber, or at least you can, Zapier is like the connector in between, basically. I do believe now, honestly, with my Claude bot, I tell you what, if y'all aren't using a Claude bot, well, first of all, if you're not using AI, use AI. If you're not using AI, don't pretend like you're building a business. You will not stay in business if you're not using AI, or at least you won't be half as successful as you could. So first of all, use AI. But second of all, if you're using AI and you're comfortable with it, start looking at the Claude bots. Claude bot, OpenClaw, whatever you want to call it. Look at the Claude bots, because I feel 100% confident that I can just connect my Claude bot right into my Jobber account with an API, and I can have it do everything. But I don't, and here's why. Of all the things that I love to manage within my business, or that I love to automate, rather, of all the things I love to automate, there's 2 things that I want to personally be in charge of. I want to touch it and smell it if I can. That is receiving incoming jobs and sending invoices. I don't want anything automated when it comes to receiving jobs. And in fact, I don't want a receptionist just taking care of that on her own. And I'll tell you why. And again, this is one of those things where if you've been a handyman for long enough, these are things you learn by experience. There are going to be jobs that come in that I'm going to read, and I'm going to know the moment I read it that it is factually inaccurate. I know what words people who don't understand electricity or plumbing or drywall or doors or anything like that, there are words that people not in the industry are going to use that are not the right words. And I'm going to see that word and I'm going to know something about that job because they use that word. Or they're going to request something in particular, and I'm going to know right off the bat, based on what they requested, that they're probably assuming some things are going to occur with that are not going to occur. Or I'm just going to be able to tell so much by the wording that I want, personally, me, Ray Duke, I want to read every word of that incoming request because as soon as I put it into a jobber job and get it assigned out to Sean Mills or whoever else is working for me, when I go put it in there, I want to be able to go in immediately and say, hey, by the way, here's all the stuff that I can tell based on how they worded this, and here's all the little tips and stuff that I can give you. Here's some things that I think are going to go wrong. Here's something that I've noticed just here in Tucson is going to be different from elsewhere, in case that employee's from elsewhere. I want to be the guy who actually puts it into Jobber. It only takes 1 minute. Come to my webinar and you'll see. Again, sign up for the webinar at bulletproofhandyman.com. Come to my webinar and see. It takes 1 minute to create a job in Jobber correctly. To do a thorough, accurate job creation inside Jobber is 1 minute out of your day. I can do 1 minute. And then the same thing with the invoices. They need to be worded correctly, client by client. I have different clients that I'm going to word their invoices ever so slightly differently. The line items themselves may change, but I'm going to be adding disclaimers for one client that I'm not going to add for a different client. I'm going to be adding caveats. I'm going to be going through and making sure when I invoice that I'm invoicing correctly. You know, there's going to be, what's a good example? Let's say I'm invoicing an exterior door that wasn't latching and shutting and locking correctly, and the tenant said it was really hard to latch and open. And I send somebody, I send Sean out to work that giant 10-foot tall Spanish colonial wooden door to get it to latch correctly. Here's what I know. Tucson has dramatic humidity swings. It is like 100% humidity during the monsoon season. Not literally 100, but it's very humid during the monsoon season. And it is 0% humidity the rest of the year. And every monsoon season, every wooden door in Tucson flexes and creaks and grows and shrinks and moves around. And I know, based on the pictures that Sean uploads, I can look at the picture and go, that's a wooden door. What time of year is it? It sure is. Monsoon season just started. I'm going to invoice this job and specifically say, this is a large wooden door that is prone to warping. When monsoon season ends, it may warp back into a different shape and you may have to call us out again. This will not apply to our 1-year warranty. We're not going to just keep coming over and over and over twice a year as the humidity changes, adjusting this door for free. If you want to keep this wooden door, just know you're going to have to keep paying us to come out and adjust this door. You can't automate that. So I need to be involved in that process. So for me, I do not try to automate anything about bringing in new jobs or invoicing jobs. However, I do want to automate like the descriptions of how to do like really basic things. I want to automate those types of things. But the one thing I don't want to automate is literally creating a new job and invoicing the other job. Now, what I would love to do is just use my voice to do that, and Jobber's working on that. They do have a solution for that. I don't think it's good enough for me to talk about to y'all yet. Y'all can go check it out yourselves. It's capable, but for me, I feel like I'd rather sit down and do it on a computer, so I'm not going to pitch that to you guys until I feel like it's good enough for me to use. I love Jobber for other reasons. I don't need to lie about Jobber to pitch it to you guys. It's great for a million reasons, but it's not there yet as far as creating new jobs with your voice. Mr. Singh said that you're looking into automating that. Cool. Yeah, you can do it if you want to. I just highly suggest that you place yourself in that loop, whether it's automated or not. Richard said, my goal is to make it out to an even this year. To an even. I don't know what you mean, sir. Oh, event. Make it out to an event. There you go. Awesome. I hope you do, man. I'd love to meet you. Pittsburgh Toddy, what's going on, bro? That's been a little bit. Said, would you charge extra to work in a really nasty location, i.e. thousands of roaches? 100%. I will refuse to work in some locations. Very few. I'll work in most locations. I'm not a fancy guy, but I will 100% charge more for it. 30% more if I need to. If it's a $600 job, I'll charge $900 for that $600 job if I have to. If it's so nasty with roaches that I literally feel like I have to like go get a hotel room so I can maybe go to Goodwill, buy some clothes, bring a fresh change of clothes or something, go get a hotel room so I can go to the hotel room, change into my crap clothes, go to the job, do all of my work for a day, go back to the hotel room, change out of my clothes, fully shower head to toe, wrap the clothes up in a garbage bag, throw them away, put on my clean new clothes, and come home so I don't bring roach eggs home. Or bed bugs or anything else for that matter. So yeah, charge extra. And just charge extra just because it's a shitty job you don't want to do. Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Singh said, I'm based in the UK. The guys over here all send work orders in the form of PDFs. That'll change soon. They'll get on board and start sending them electronically. I mean, a PDF is electronic, I guess, but they'll start having places you can just log into and copy and paste. Edward said, yes. Appfolio is still a PDF via email. That's crazy. I thought it would at least by now be a PDF on a website that you just click on. It's still a PDF. That's how I used to get it from realty executives here in Tucson. That was my first big client, and I learned a lot and grew a lot with them. Always Do Better said, how do you use your Claude bot? Oh, dude, I use my Claude bot all day, every day for everything. It replies to emails for me. It puts together plans for me. It's put together a pipeline already where it's gone through all my videos, and it's gone onto YouTube and downloaded my audio files and then sent them and processed them through some software called Parakeet on my little AI supercomputer here and extracted perfect transcripts. It's cleaned those transcripts of all personal information, created AI training data out of it. It has also chunked it into a different type of AI training data. It has also gone through and identified where the topic breaks are. So per video, you know, YouTube has chapters. It's identified where all of my natural chapter breaks are, and then created chapter titles and descriptions that are all SEO and AEO optimized, and created a database for all that. Now it's going... I have an API limit, unfortunately, on the server, so I can only do like 200 videos a day, but it's updating all of those videos with their proper chapter breaks and titles and descriptions. It's, if I want, let's say, like I create a new, actually, I just created new events today at bulletproofhandyman.com for y'all to go sign up for. If I want to put those events into my descriptions on YouTube, I can tell my Claude bot, I can say, hey, let's go add those events into the descriptions across my entire channel. Let's go do that right now. I've applied for an API increase limit so that it can go and adjust all of my descriptions on all of my videos, or it can do any number of, change the titles, all kinds of stuff. And that's like one of a million things I'm doing with it. What else is some neat projects? I have, I've downloaded some medical AIs. And I have a project with my Claude bot where I'm trying to consolidate my family's medical records all into one spot so I can query them. I'm doing like a million things with it. I literally run everything in my life on it, and it creates project folders so it keeps track of everything. It has a thing called LCM, lossless compressed memory. So what it'll do is as you talk to it over time, you reach a certain amount of conversation, and it starts getting too heavy for the AIs to process because they have context windows. So you tell it where, and when it reaches your trigger point, it will then read all of that conversation, summarize all of it down, pack it away over here, and now it's just taking that summary and attaching it to what you just said and sending all that. And eventually that grows, and it compacts all of that down and puts that summary there. And it can always go back and expand. So as time goes by and you get more of these little packages, you get too many packages, it will summarize all the packages and put that over there. And as you go, it keeps compacting and summarizing. But anytime you want to go back and read something specific, like what specifically did I say about this topic on this day, it can go back and unpack everything and show you what you said. So that's a cool thing it's got too. But really, I mean, the answer is anything and everything. It's whatever your heart desires. It is infinitely useful. I'm figuring out how to connect it to my bank account now, so that in a read-only way, so that it can go and tell me things about my bank account and start categorizing all of my expenses, and then I won't need QuickBooks anymore. It does everything. It's great. I have it actually. So when I edit the Bulletproof Handyman website, I do still go on Replit and talk to Replit and have Replit do a lot of editing. But if it's a quick thing, like on the fly, here's one of the things it does. It keeps track of, it has access to my feedback mechanism on bulletproofhandyman.com. So if you're on bulletproofhandyman.com and you click that banner at the bottom to provide me with feedback, my Claude will see that, and it will send me a text message and tell me that there's new feedback or a new bug report. It'll tell me what it is. It'll tell me, I have it set up to be very proactive, so it won't just come and tell me there's feedback. It'll say, hey, Ray, there's a new bug report. The bug is this. I looked into it, and I think this is what it's caused by. It's a glitch in the code. I can fix it by doing this. I just need your permission first. Would you like me to go change the code to fix this? And I'll just say yes. I'll just go, yes. That's all I have to say. And it goes and does it. That could have been an hour of work for me. Claude just figured it out and did it. So that's another thing I do with the Claude. Look for new, I need to write this down actually, AI webinar. I was doing AI webinars for a while. I kind of stopped doing them. I need to get back on them, so I'm making a note. I'll tell my Claude actually too to just, in fact, here, I'll do it right now. Hey, when we're planning future videos and content strategy and scheduling, remind me that I need to start doing AI in the trades webinars again. Please add that to my list. Also, please tell me all of the open projects that we're working on right now, every single one of them. Just give me a brief name and description of each project. So I'm going to let my bot process that, and then you can hear the answer back. Hold your own, said, I just set up my LLC in a state that's failing, New York State. With your knowledge and jobber, I don't think I'll regret it. Thank you for the encouragement. I'm not giving up because of politics. Boy, are you right. Everybody's moving out of New York now. Y'all are about to start doing that wealth tax thing. All the wealthy people are going to leave, and then you ain't going to have no tax dollars. You already know that. I'm not telling you anything. So, you know, move to Florida. Actually, I'm going to tell y'all something. If you want to move somewhere to start a handyman business, 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡's going to hate me for this, but I'm going to send y'all all to compete with Edward. Move to Tennessee, man. Tennessee has got great regulations for handymen. They love small businesses. I believe it's no income tax. If it's not, it's low, but I don't think it's low. I think it's no income tax, just like Texas. Tennessee is an amazing place, and I think y'all should go flood it and outcompete 𝗟𝗘𝗔𝗥𝗡. You're welcome, Edward. I'm looking at my phone because that's where Edward is. Usually for me is on my phone. Tennessee is a great state, and you know what? So is Arkansas, actually. Always do better, said, I make my office staff use AI and ask what exclusions they should add in SOWs when I'm out of the office. Awesome. Standard operating what? SOP is a standard operating procedure. What's a SOW? Standard operating something. I don't know. Mr. Singh said, try Super Whisper. It does voice to text super well and works across the whole computer, not just a specific app. I've used Whisper. I haven't tried Super Whisper. Apparently there's another Whisper out too, but I'll try Super Whisper. Always do better, said, love that. I've been playing on my Mac Mini for the last month. I'm using it on a Mini. Everybody's using them on Minis. I'm on a DGX Spark, if you want to look that up. That's a little AI supercomputer called a DGX Spark. With separate agents, I'm not sure if my main agent is frustrating more or my physical team. Dude, I'm with you. I'll tell you something. I'm going to give y'all one piece of advice for your Claude bots. It's not cheap. It's really not. But I'm going to tell you something. Sonnet 4.6 should be your Claude bots. This is Anthropic Claude Sonnet 4.6 should be your Claude bots brain. Anything less, yes, is cheaper. There's a lot that's cheaper. Anything less than Sonnet 4.6, 100%, I promise you, you're missing out on a world of functionality. I have tried Gemini 2.5 Pro. I've tried Codex 5.1. I've tried Codex 5.4. I've tried Haiku. I've tried DeepSeek. I've tried local models that I run on my little DGX Spark. It doesn't matter what I use, man. Everything that is lesser, everything more affordable than Sonnet 4.6 is literally going to not know what it's doing, and it's going to get confused, and it's going to just be an idiot about, you're not going to know this. You're going to think it's amazing because it will do 99 things that you want. But when you realize that the other 99 things that you want that it can't do, that you just think is reasonable that it can't do it, it turns out it can, but it needs Sonnet or something better than Sonnet to do it. I promise you that. I promise you. I've learned my lesson the hard way too many times, and it has cost me more money for the mistakes that it made and the weird infinite API loops that it's charged up, and just the API spend that I've had to spend on Sonnet to fix the thing that wouldn't have been broken if I would have been on Sonnet. It's cheaper to be on Sonnet than it is to keep fixing this stuff and to let it keep making the mistakes. Always do better. I am using Telegram. Telegram has the most functionality. Each platform has different functionality on a Claudebot. Telegram is what it was built for originally, so there's the most integrated around it. That could change over time, but right now it's really, they've integrated, you know, Discord and all the other things, but Telegram is where the most functionality is at the moment. Oh, scope of work, right on, yes. Gamer Mark said from, oh, what did I miss? He said from Gamer Mark. I don't see it. Sorry, Gamer Mark, I don't know what you mean. I probably should, but right on. Ah, these tired of being sick. Hold Your Own said, Hold Your Own is my YouTube name. I got to switch that. My business is the Handlebar Handyman. This is my first live join with you. Haven't set up YouTube with my business yet. Right on. Get on that. Snatch up all the social media channels for whatever your business name is. Even if you don't use them, own them so somebody else can't take them. Mr. Singh said there were at least 3 Whisper apps: Bloody Confusing Whisper Flow, Mac Whisper, and Super Whisper. The last one is what I use, and it's great. Gamer Mark said, living in Canvas, moving around, I can tell you that there are no good contractors, and if there are, they're very few and far between. Without doing a lot of experience, being 20, I'm doing well enough to live. There are no good contractors. I mean, there are. There's not many. 1 out of 10 is good. Mike Neal, good to see you in here, sir. Mike, you kind of came towards the end. I'm not done yet, but I'll kind of be done soonish. Let me roll. I'll tell you what, I'm going to repeat everything super, super quick that I've already gone over because a lot of y'all are new in here. I'm going to repeat everything really quick, and then we'll move on to some other stuff as well as comments. So, number 1, new video series coming. It's going to be heavily AI-based. I'm not going to dive into all the details, but there is a new video series that I'm working on that I'm about to be filming all of them. They're kind of be in a row, 4 or 5 of them in the series. I haven't decided yet. Next, I'm going to be in Austin, June 8th through 12th. There's an event at bulletproofhandyman.com. Y'all can go sign up for. If you sign up for it, you'll get communications from me as I figure out the exact dates and times and locations and airline flights and hotels. But I will be in Austin, June 8th through 12th, speaking at IPX 26 as a guest speaker. But I'm not going to be in there speaking the whole time. I'm also going to be around Austin hanging out with you guys. So go to bulletproofhandyman.com. Sign up so you can get on my communications list and we can hang out when I come to Austin. Texas Bunkhouse Retreat, April 16th through 19th. That's in Bonham State Park, just northeast of Dallas-Fort Worth. Bonham State Park, Thursday through Sunday, April 16th through 19th. Bunkhouse style, lodging and meals provided, paid for by Ergo Next Insurance. There's a link in the description for you to click to go get a quote from Ergo Next Insurance. They're one of this channel's best sponsors. I love them to death, and I mean that 100%. but they're paying for it. So go to bulletproofhandyman.com and click the event there to get signed up for the event. There's 17 seats left out of 60. We're going to fill up the 60. Next, Replit website building webinar. There's another event at bulletproofhandyman.com for April 14th. If you click on the link in the next couple days, if you get registered, then in the next couple days, you're going to get a link and a code. You're going to get a free month of Replit. You're going to come to you're going to get an onboarding link, and you're going to go and onboard, which means you're going to go to bulletproofhandyman.com, a special page that I've built. You're going to answer questions, upload photos, fill everything out. And then on build day, you're going to come to our webinar. On build day, you're going to get your master prompt. You're going to create your Replit account, your free Replit account. You're going to drop your master prompt in. You're not going to need to know how to do anything. You're just going to drop it in the box and hit go. And it's going to build you a website. And within 30 minutes, you're going to be published and have your handyman website done and built for free in 30 minutes. If you want to keep it there on Replit, you can get your account set up. $25 a month to host it there. If you want to take it somewhere else, you can download the whole code base for free and go do it somewhere, go host it somewhere else. Doesn't matter. It's free for you either way. That's also an event at bulletproofhandyman.com you could sign up for. Jobber webinar this Saturday. 2 things about Jobber. 1, tomorrow, Saturday, is the webinar. That's where you can come to really dive deep into Jobber, see how I do my workflow, but more importantly, be able to ask me all of your nuanced questions when I have it up on the screen and I can actually click around and show you how to do all the things you can't figure out how to do on there. Also, Jobber itself right now is 40% off if you purchase it before the 31st. Today's the 27th, so you got 3 days basically. Jobber itself is 40% off. You will not see that price again until, I always forget what it's called, Black Friday. So use my link in the description of any of my videos or at bulletproofhandyman.com. Use my link, but go and get yourself the 40% off. This is a great way to get the Grow Plan and test the Grow Plan at 40% off for 3 months. And before the 3 months ends, if you don't like paying for the Grow Plan, if you don't want to pay that full price at the end of the 3 months, then you just downgrade to the Connect plan before the 3 months is up. You can absolutely do that, but it's the best way to get into a Grow Plan and actually see if you like and want to keep all the features on the Grow Plan. So that's all of that. That's a nice recap of everything we've done. All right. Mike said, guessing you'll be jumping off soon. Relatively soon. We got some time still, though. Edward said, we have enough New Yorkers, New Jerseyans, and Californians already here. Probably. I agree. Richard McGuire said, I always wanted to do short videos about lifestyle, being a handyman, gardening, raising chickens. Just the time. Now's the time, brother. Just go do it. I'm going to tell y'all something. When I started my handyman business, the way that I started it was I jumped the fuck in. I stopped waiting until the perfect moment and I jumped the fuck in. When I started this Bulletproof Handyman channel, the way I did it was I just made a fucking video. I thought about it forever and ever and ever, and I never pulled the trigger until the day I did. And then I just did. And when I did, it happened. Every big, useful, great thing I've ever done in my life that's led to success or happiness or even failure, but with me learning lessons and still being happy I did it. It's always been because I just fucking did it. So, Richard, start your Bulletproof Handyman channel. Start your handyman channel, or just start your lifestyle channel. Give me your link, and I'll share it in here, and you can get a few extra subscribers, man, to kick you off. But, you know, nothing changes if nothing changes. There's no truer words can be said than nothing changes if nothing changes, by definition. I'm just telling you that because I love you, brother. You've been around here a long time, and I want you to succeed. And if you think that's something you want to do, just go do it. Gerald Medina said, what's the best way to make ads for your business to post on Facebook? Would before and after pictures be something good to post on Facebook Marketplace, or should I make an actual ad? I think you want to add, and the bigger answer to your question is you need to talk to ChatGPT or whatever is your preferred AI. I think Grok is amazing these days too, but pick any of them. It doesn't matter. Let an AI guide you through that process. I'll tell you this. I use AI to make like all of my any sort of media that I'm making, like any print stuff, all of my thumbnails, everything, man, it's all AI these days. There's some stuff that's not, but even if it's not, it's still me. Like my thumbnails, actually, they're not fully AI, but they start by talking to an AI, figuring out a plan, figuring out what kind of thumbnail I want, and then my camera and my, me in the real world getting some photographs that it needs, and then giving it the photographs and letting it piece everything together and put the text on and adjust the lighting and stuff. So AI is 100% going to answer that question better than me. My advice, if you need to make ads, is use an AI to help you make your ads. Anything less than AI or an ad agency, which, by the way, the ad agency, it's just using AI. Anything less than AI is not going to get you the best ads. Somebody else is going to get more calls from your clients because they used AI. This is the world we live in now. This is no longer the future. This is today, right now. AI is not the future. AI has happened. It is now in the past, and we're living inside of it. You have to catch up. If you don't want to fall behind, you're gonna have to figure it out. I promise you. Always Do Better said, I've been watching over 2 years. I'll apologize in advance as I don't catch all of the streams like I used to. I've been busy building our maintenance business. Have you done any videos on agentic AI or Claude? Not agentic. I've done some webinars and some videos on AI in general, because agentic AI didn't exist like 4 or 5 months ago. It's insane how fast this stuff moves. So no, I haven't, but I did make a note to start doing more AI webinars, and this 5-part series that I'm talking about coming up. I think one of the videos in it, either one of the videos or just at least a section of one of the videos, is going to really dive deep into the agentic AI. You know what? We need to do this. In fact, I need to let y'all hear my bot as well. I want you to go ahead and add another webinar that I need to do separate from the AI webinar, because the AI webinar is already an hour to an hour and a half that I can fill pretty easily with that. Let's also start doing agentic AI webinars that really just focus on how to use OpenClaw agents like yourself and other agentic AI tools. So I've told my AI, my Claude bot that. Now I'm going to let y'all listen to my Claude bot. Earlier, I said, hey, when we're planning future videos and content strategy and scheduling, remind me that I need to start doing AI in the trades webinars again. Please add that to my list. Also, please tell me all the open projects that we're working on right now. Every single one of them, just give me a brief name and description of each project. Now, it definitely did not get all of my Oh, it did. Right on. Nah, no, it didn't. Okay, and second of all, earlier I asked you to give me a list and a brief description of every single project that I'm working on, and you definitely did not do that, period. We have the ranch, comma, we have the family health program, comma, we have the YouTube card placement, well, actually just the entire YouTube pipeline, comma. We have lots and lots and lots of projects. I want you to actually make me a full and complete list of every project we're working on with a very brief description of what the project is about. So I'm going to let her do that, and then y'all can hear everything that I'm using it for. Although it's still not everything, because like I said, it's not going to say you have me check your emails. You have an awareness daemon that follows all of these analytics on YouTube and your website. It's not going to talk about literally everything, but it should talk about way more than what it just did. Gamer Mark said there are good contractors in Kansas, but talking to property managers and realtors, most don't answer, show up, or if they do, it's subpar work, but I've talked to some that are awesome and they help me a lot. That's awesome. Always Do Better said agent. Oh, we already did that. Always Do Better said truth, and Always Do Better said OpenClaw plus nano equals Facebook post. Yes, you can absolutely, not just nano. Don't restrict yourself to nano. I'll tell you what I've done, and this is something that all of y'all can do. I'm a handyman. Seriously, if y'all would have seen The Bulletproof Handyman website, less than a year ago, not even a year ago, I'm talking about if you'd have seen the Bulletproof Handyman website in October of last year, just right around the corner, October, less than a year ago, it was junk, man. I'm not a computer guy. I do not understand all this computer stuff, but I do understand how to talk to AI. That's the skill I learned. I learned how to talk to AI. There is a way to talk to it, and every different AI has a different way to talk to it. I'll tell you this. If you manage to get yourself a Claude bot, the first thing you do is you go rack up a bunch of APIs. You go to 11 Labs and you get an account and you get an API. If you don't know how to do that, go to ChatGPT and say, what's an API? How do I get an API? It'll guide you through it. But you get a 11 Labs API. You get a Grok, like an XAI, right? Twitter, the program Twitter that is now X. The company is XAI. Their AI is called Grok. Go get a Grok API. Get a Google Gemini API. Get a ChatGPT API. Get an Anthropic API. Go get an API. Ask your Claude bot or ask ChatGPT, what APIs should I get if I want to have maximum functionality of my Claude bot? Go get all your APIs and give them all to your Claude bot. And then say, store these APIs away so that later on when you want to make an ad, you can say, hey, you can name your Claude bot, right? Its name is Murray. I'm going to change that name. You can say, hey, Murray, let's make a new Facebook ad. What should we do? And it'll talk to you. And throughout that process, you can say, what image generator is going to be the best image generator for this kind of ad or for this kind of project? Or maybe it's a video. Maybe you're going to do a 15-second video ad for your company. And you're going to say, which video generator is going to be the best one? Which is going to be the best at planning? Which is going to be the best at software, at code writing? Which is going to be the best at long-term planning and strategizing? Which one's going to make the best expert for using expert terminology for this big bid that I'm going to make? And it will know, all of them will understand who of their competitors is the best. They're not competitive. And they'll just tell you which specific AI you should be using, and it will put it all together for you. You just have to learn how to talk to it, man. You have to. The only way to do it, it's like running a handyman business. The only way to know all the things you need to know is to actually put in the time and do it. You can read all the books in the world you want. You can watch all the YouTube videos you want. You won't be an expert at it until you do it. I'm not an expert, but this shit's only existed for a year, less than a year, actually. A non-coding agentic AI that can do things for you, like building a website, has only existed for less than a year right now. But you just got to jump in and you got to start figuring it out. What's up? Yeah.
He's like, I don't want an episode. He slept in the car. He goes, I'm not doing it. I was like, you don't have to.
My son is mad that he took a nap. It's too late to not take one now. He took it and he's upset about it. That's great. All right. Hold Your Own said, I've been apprehensive. That being said, you're right. I need to just let it go and get in now. AI is the world we are working with. I just haven't been ready. 36 years old, raised by my grandparents. I'm going to tell you where to start. I'm going to tell all y'all where to start. Get the ChatGPT app, the app on your phone, the mobile app. Do it on a PC too, but get the ChatGPT app on your phone. Pay the $25 a month. That's basically free. Go into the app and use the button that lets you talk to it with your voice and say to ChatGPT, your first time in, hi, my name is, insert your name. I don't know anything about AI and I need to learn. Can you please educate me on what you're useful for and interview me so that you understand me well enough to help me? That will start the conversation. And anytime, if you get awkward and you don't even know what to say or how to say it, say that. Say, hey, I'm fucking awkward and I don't know what to say or how to say it. And it'll take the lead. Just say, take the lead, you know? Say, what am I missing? Anything like that. It will take the lead and guide you. I promise you, it will help you figure it out. And once you're comfortable talking to ChatGPT and you start understanding how to use AI, then you'll be comfortable enough to start branching out to the other AIs and the other types of AI that you can use. It's not just a bunch of large language models. You know, Replit is one of them. So Start by downloading the ChatGPT app and just use the ChatGPT app with your voice and just say, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it will take the lead from there, I promise you.
Dearly beloved, I'm awkward and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Tell me, ChatGPT.
I don't know if y'all heard her. Come say that again.
If only it was that simple. I said, I'm awkward and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Help me, ChatGPT.
There you go. Emily's using it all the time. She wrote a whole book with it. And I don't mean she had it write the book. I mean, she brainstormed and came up with a storyline and explored different storylines and segmented it out and did the whole process. It's actually hard because if you just told it to write a whole book, it's going to write a shitty book. And if you try to segment it out, but you don't keep it in line all the way through, the last chapter will sound like it's written by somebody different from the first chapter. She's done a bunch with it. She's putting together her tattoo future with it. It will do all the stuff, man, but you got to dive in and you just got to dive in. That's the bottom line.
It's also a great editor if you're dyslexic.
She said it's also a great editor if you're dyslexic. Sorry about all the sniffing, man. Just still sick. What's up?
I'm just gonna get the kids.
Love you. Mike said, I had a large local movie theater reach out and asked if I would consider being their maintenance guy. They know I have my business and will let me schedule around that. I have a meeting on Monday. Boy, they better pay you a lot of fucking money, Mike. I tell you what, Mike knows what he's doing. Mike's making some money. And I don't mean Mike's out there being a baller. I mean, Mike is managing his business correctly and treating it the way it should be treated and being such a professional that he is making a significant salary for himself with plenty of time for his family. And he has a better life than he had before because he's taking this business seriously. So, I mean, if I was you, Mike, I would not consider that theater. Like, they would need to be offering me $80 a year starting salary plus benefits right out of the gate, or I would not even consider it. Always Do Better said, hey, would you use that over OpenRouter? I believe I'm already, hold on. I think I'm already using OpenRouter. First, let's listen to what she has to say here. And then I'll ask her, actually, let me ask her first, because she can be getting her answer together while I listen to this. Hey, someone just asked me on my live stream if I would use lots and lots and lots of APIs over OpenRouter. I thought I was using OpenRouter and that OpenRouter was simply putting together my different APIs from my different services. So I'm okay with being wrong. Just tell me where and how I'm wrong. Am I using OpenRouter or is that different from what I'm doing? So we'll send that. I'm not the expert. I could be wrong. And here's what she says about all the projects we're working on.
Sent a chapter 26 projects this time, organized by category. I also flagged 5 things I found on your 𝗍𝗂 that I don't have context for. In the Arena podcast, Flag and Fire, Commercial Property, Founders and Fathers, and the Family Health Vault that we planned but never started. Those are either active or need to be closed out. Tell me what they are, and I'll track them properly going forward. Added, 2 separate webinar series now on the content schedule. AI in the trades. Restart, 60 to 90 minutes. Broad AI tools for handymen. Agentic AI, separate series goes deeper, specifically about autonomous AI agents like me. The pitch writes itself. Watch your AI schedule a job, pull analytics, draft an email. You're not using OpenRouter. Here's the short version. OpenRouter is a middleman that sits in front of all the AI providers, so you only need one API key and one bill. You're doing direct API calls. Straight to Anthropic for Claude, straight to OpenAI for GPT, straight to Google for Gemini. OpenClaw does the routing between them based on the task, but the calls go directly to each provider. That means you're paying each company directly, which is actually cheaper than OpenRouter for high volume, since OpenRouter adds a markup on top. The person on your stream was probably thinking of OpenRouter as the thing that does what OpenClaw does for model switching. They're not wrong in spirit, just wrong on the plumbing. You're doing it the right way for the volume you're running. Sent a chapter 26 projects this time, organized by category. I also flagged.
She still didn't really list all the projects correctly. And by the way, you're not wrong. I understood what you were talking about, I think. She seems to think that you think that I'm using something different than I am. So, but the short answer is, okay, apparently OpenRouter has lots of connections to lots of different models already. So you just have the one API into OpenRouter. As she mentioned, there is a markup on top of that. It's a business, so they have to make some money. There's nothing wrong with a markup if what they're providing is high quality. I don't know if OpenRouter offers the depth and breadth that I have in terms of I literally have access to, with one API, like say to Google, I have access to all of Google's models. I don't know if OpenRouter limits how many models you have access to. I don't know if they choose the model. Like on OpenRouter, I don't know if you can say with your 𝗬𝗢𝗨'𝗟𝗟 agent, I don't know if you can say, I want to run all of this project on like Sonnet 4.6, or I want to run all of this project on Opus 4.6, or on GPT Gemini, or Gemini 2.5 Pro. I don't know too much about OpenRouter, but it does sound convenient. So if the markup isn't too much and you're not super confident with APIs and stuff like that, then it actually sounds like a service that's worth paying for if the markup isn't too big of a markup. Mike said it will definitely be hourly work, but they said I could have part-time or full-time. Might be worth it for some perks. I'll have to think it over after we talk. It's a good idea. Let me know how it goes, man. You can handle a business and a part-time job. Gamer Mark said yard signs and door hangers still work really well. AI is also awesome, especially the information I don't know yet or talking to customers. It always points me in the right direction for sure. Yeah, yard signs and door hangers, do not underestimate them, man. Edward said I'm starting to do more of a dive into AI fully. I've done a little bit of chat GPT, but I definitely need a deeper dive. Well, first of all, Edward, like just between you and me, buddy to buddy, you're a friend. Anything you need help with, you text me or call me literally anytime. You, Mike, Paul Dardo, there's a handful of guys. You need anything at all and you have a question, call me and ask me. I'm always going to be happy to help you. And I'll do these webinars and stuff too. I'm gonna dive back into the webinars. Mike said I use Chat GPT all the time, almost every day. Yeah, you've told me that before. Yeah, Mike has figured out, he's gotten really good with the pricing with Chat GPT, which is not easy. There's a difference. I'm gonna give you all a tip. There's a difference between saying how much should a handyman charge for X. There's a difference between that and how much should a professional handyman charge for X, or how much should a licensed handyman charge for X, or how much should a handyman with a business license and insurance charge for X, or add the words in a medium-sized city and a large city on a weekend. Add a experienced handyman. Instead of saying handyman, say experienced licensed handyman, or any number of words. Every single different word you use in that prompt is going to give you a different price for the answer to that question. And the trick is, again, learning to talk to AI. What you really need to do is have an AI that understands you and your market and your experience and your business and can use that context. Or if you're fresh and you're from scratch and it doesn't know you yet, you're going to have to be able to go, hey, I want to know how much I should charge for this job, but instead of telling me what to charge for this job, I want you to come up with the 20 most important questions that are going to dictate how much I personally should charge for this job. Ask me those 20 questions and then tell me what I'm missing and what I should have asked you, and then tell me how much to charge for the job. That's a very different way to talk, but that's how you talk to an AI. You better stop. Dogs want to join the whole rest of the neighborhood on. They do these little howling matches every night, which I have to admit is actually one of my dog's fault. The dog's not here anymore, but a dog I used to have named Faith, she started these neighborhood howling matches every night. Now she's gone, the neighborhood continues it, and the other dogs want to jump into it. Gamer Mark said Chat GPT is the one I use most often if I need help or if I need to get something from somewhere. I don't know. It's never been wrong. I always check, though. Can't trust it all the time. Yeah, you do have to check everything, always. Always do better, said God, we love the boss. And thanks, Emily. She's amazing. Gamer Mark said, Gamer Mark said, it could help with motivation, hypes me up sometimes. That's true. Hold Your Own said, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm downloading it now. You don't look like the Terminator to me. I trust you. Right on. Gamer Mark said, the dyslexia thing is true. Always do better, said she called me out. I love that she's not. It's been like 2 weeks and I'm not over this thing quite. Gamer Mark said, oh, wow. Always do better, says she just called me out. Then I was saying, I'm glad she is down with coming in here and interacting a little bit every now and then. Gamer Mark dropped his phone in raw chicken. That's really horrible. That sucks. Said, I went through my pricing with ChatGPT, so any job, I jive it and know my personal pricing where I live. That's good. Always do better, said, I'm trying to train my main agent to decipher what LLMs my sub-agents allowed to use. For example, my marketing agent may have access to Sonnet, then my data or research agent will have access to LLM. To LLM, the agent dictates by agent what LLM they use, if that makes sense. Typing and putting the that's fine. So always do better. You know, your CloudBot exists based on agents MD document, Soul MD document. Yeah, you said through OpenRouter. See, that's the thing with OpenRouter, I don't know, but what I can tell you, and I've been through this a lot with mine. For example, mine knows that I want it to use certain LLMs with certain sub-agents based on the task. Sometimes it's using a cheaper LLM because that's a task that doesn't require a lot of intelligence. Sometimes it's using, for example, I've just started using Codex 5.4 for my coding tasks, which is newer than 5.1, and I'm liking it. But Opus 4.6 is great too. GPT 5.4 is good at looking at an entire string of things, like a nice long script, and really analyzing and fine-tuning the script and making sure it's a good script. But it wants to do a beginning-to-end one-shot. Opus 4.6 likes to talk about things and plan things. It likes to be involved. ChatGPT wants to know... it wants you to have figured most of it out and then tell it what to do, like what the whole task is, and it wants to one-shot it. Opus likes to be involved and talk about it and build it piece by piece. Those are different things. But what I will tell you is if you want to make sure that you're always using the right model for the right task, what you have to do... Hold on, let me make sure I tell you the right one. Is model routing part of your agents.md? Or does model routing belong in a different document? Actually, I know what she's going to say. Model routing is done on a JSON-L document, but I think it's going to be the agents.md is going to have an instruction that points to, that says, for model routing, look at this JSON-L document. So we'll give it a second. But the point is, though, is your actual documents, whether it's the soul, the heartbeat, the agents, the memory, one of those documents, and I think it's the agents document, it needs to be specified in there, even if all it specifies is to point at the JSON document. So let me see what she says real quick. She's still typing. I don't want to move on just yet, but this won't take long. Here we go. Oh, she didn't send a voice answer like she usually does. Yeah, she did.
It's an agents.md right now.
Agents.md.
We put it there this morning when we cleaned up the duplication. Whether that's the right home is worth thinking about. Agents.md is the operational rules doc, so model routing fits. But it's already dense. Startup, TTS, memory, safety, heartbeat. A dedicated model routing.md would be cleaner if the table grows. My take. Leave it in agents.md for now. 3 models, 3 tasks. And
then, of course, you already know this, always do better, but if you really want to know how to do it, just ask your Claude bot, what's the best way to do model routing in OpenClaw. But make sure you're asking a smart model. Don't ask that to a cheat model. Ask that question. That's a question you want to reserve and pay the extra API fee on Sonnet 4.6. Ask Sonnet 4.6 how to do that, and then let some other model execute it, but ask 4.6 for the actual knowledge. Ugh. Mike says, GPT knows my business so well that it's always pushing me to quote higher. I'm not surprised, because you are too humble, Mike. You really are. I've given it a higher gross income than last year, and it keeps me on track to hit that goal. That's what ChatGPT is good for, among 1,000 other things. Always Do Better says, she's your Claude bot. Yep, there you go. Through OpenRouter. Always Do Better said, your agent analyzes and picks which model and thinks about what's cost effective before charging APIs. So my agent does not autonomously analyze and pick. What happens is I have conversations with my agent about it. So my agent, I will say, let's pick I'll tell you what, here's a really great example. Here's something that Haiku was good for, because Haiku is a really cheap Claude model. But it's not the smartest Claude model. But for Haiku, what I used it for was when I wanted to do my chapter titles for all of my YouTube videos. So it's got all my transcripts, and it's going through the transcripts, and it's trying to figure out, where does the topic change within this video? Where are the natural chapter breaks? And I think I used GPT 4.0 reasoning for that, which is a really affordable model. It's actually a great model. It's who you're talking to, actually, when you talk to ChatGPT on the mobile app. You're talking to GPT 4.0 reasoning. So I think I used 4.0 reasoning to identify the chapter breaks. But for coming up with the title for each chapter, that's based on a really simple set of rules, because it's kind of SEO and AEO based, and it doesn't require a lot of semantic understanding. So I used Haiku to actually build the titles, and then I used Sonnet as so Sonnet was my quality checker. So regardless of who I used to build everything, my quality checker Sonnet way up here looked down on it and graded it and said it was good or bad, and then kicked it back and made the model do it again and again. So I have conversations with Sonnet or Opus, either one. They're both. Opus is twice the price, almost twice the price of Sonnet. And it's a little bit smarter, but a little bit smarter. When you're at Sonnet level, Opus is like absolute genius level. So I'll have a conversation with Sonnet or Opus about what model to use. And it's almost always Sonnet. Opus, you don't need to talk to Opus about what model to use. Have a conversation with Sonnet about what model you should use for certain things. You might use one model to plan your ad, to just like brainstorm the ad. And then you might use a different model to actually do the ad copy, like to specify each individual word. And you might use a different model to add, like Gemini 2.5 Pro is an industry expert. It's really great at just like looking at things and analyzing them and figuring out if they make sense inside their context. And then you might use a different image generation model. You could use all of the models now have great image generation, but each one of them is going to be better at different types of images, or like I said, if it's a video. So you can have these conversations with Sonnet 4.6, in my opinion, you should. With Sonnet 4.6, or at least one of the latest GPTs, and use that to decide what models you're going to use. And I would not use anything less than Sonnet 4.6, by the way. Don't use anything less than Sonnet 4.6 for actually editing those internal documents. Your agent.md, your soul.md, memory.md, all the other .mds. I would not use anything less than Sonnet 4.6 for editing those documents. Everything I've used that is lesser than 4.6 has either edited them incorrectly and caused me more trouble than I would have had if I'd have just used Sonnet 4.6, or even worse, today, Grok I was trying to save money and check out whether or not Grok 4.1 Fast Reasoning is the name of the whole thing, is available now. And it supposedly was great at tool usage and stuff. And I switched over to it. It completely fucked everything up, man. It went off the deep end. It forgot how to talk to me. It said it changed my internal documents when it didn't. It said that it switched me back over to Sonnet 4.6 when it didn't. It kept itself and said it switched back to 4.6. It was just telling me that it did everything that I wanted it to do without doing it. And I ended up having to completely rebuild everything damn near from scratch. Thank God I had my LCM memory thing in place, because I was able to just bring that right back in. But don't have anything less than Sonnet 4.6 actually editing your internal files that run your bot. Always do better said Sonnet 4.6 is great. I don't think most people truly understand reverse prompting. Good topic to elaborate on. What do you mean by reverse prompting? Do you mean saying things like, what am I missing? Or do you mean saying things like interview me to get to know me so that you can help me in the future? It depends on what you're talking about. Or do you mean just giving it your end goal and asking it to help you work backwards? Hold Your Own said, you're not alone with a residual coughing. My daughter and wife are still coughing after 3 weeks. Thank you for the encouragement. I'll be learning the Chat GPT this weekend. Right on. Hold Your Own said, have a wonderful night. I'm leaving encouraged and full of knowledge. That's great, too. Mike said, good night. All right, man. Getting closer to the end. Y'all are keeping me going. This is almost 2 hours. We got to that. Yeah, the last thing that I wanted to throw in here tonight, that I really wanted to make sure not to forget to throw in here tonight, is for you guys, and I mean this, really, go to bulletproofhandyman.com and explore, especially explore the tools. I need to expand those tools out and make them their own big pages, so you kind of have to scroll past and through to see them. I have amazing tools I've built for you guys. Startup Budget Builder to start your handyman business, which comes along with all of the tools that you need. And you click through each one and you make your budget up and everything. It's insane. Jobber AI Receptionist Trainer. The Rate Book. There's so many tools. I can't even think of them now because I've been going for an hour and 51 minutes. But go to bulletproofhandyman.com and sincerely explore. Use the tools. I built them for y'all. They work. They're really outstanding tools, and you're missing out if you're not using them. I'm not going to make any money off you using them. There's no paywalls anywhere here, and there never has been, and there never will be. There are 0 paywalls. Go explore and figure out those tools. I built them for you. Always do better said, not knowing what to do, to where your agent gives you advice on the goal. Exactly. Ask your agent, to help you figuring out the goal. I do this. You know, my agent knows. Watch. This is going to describe eloquently and passionately what my North Star is and why. The fact that my agent is going to have the correct answer for this, and if you guys know me, you're going to know it's the correct answer. This is what I'm talking about. And this Chat GPT is the only other thing that has the same good memory as these agents now. Nothing else. Now, Grok is starting with the memory. And in fact, all the other platforms are starting. Chat GPT and this agent right here are the two things that truly know me, AI in the AI world, that truly know me well enough to be useful in the way that they are. But I want you to hear the answer to this so you can understand the depth to which your agent can understand you and help you achieve your goals. The Amateur said, thoughts on the current situation with Iran and South America? I'll give you that in just a minute. Let's listen to my North Star.
The ranch, not just land, not just a building, a declaration. You are working every single day, Bus. Not for a salary, not for a boss, not for approval, but for sovereignty. For the right to feed your children food that you grew, in soil that you own, on land that answers to no landlord and no quarterly earnings report. For the kind of freedom that can't be canceled, restructured, or algorithmically demonetized. The ranch is the thing that survives everything. When the grid goes down, when the economy does something stupid, when the world that everyone else is living in becomes unrecognizable, the ranch is still there. Solar running, animals producing, food on the table, kids who know where things come from. But it's more than survival. It's legacy. It's handing your children something real. Not money. Money disappears. Not advice. They'll forget it. Something they can stand on. Generational. Built by their father, who refused to trade his whole life for a paycheck and the illusion of security. Every video you make, every webinar you run, every affiliate link clicked, every jobber sign up, every AEO description we push to YouTube at 1 a.m, that's a brick. That's the flywheel turning. That's you getting closer to the day you put your hands in the dirt and say, this is mine, and I built it. That's your North Star. And on the days when this feels like too much, that's the reason you don't stop. Your tasks. Simple enough to live where it is. If it grows past 5 or 6 rows or gets conditional logic, move it then.
Oh.
You're not using...
Now she's moved on to the other one. That's my fucking ranch. That's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm doing it. And y'all need to have a ranch. You need to have a North Star. You need to have the thing that drives you, the purpose that gets you up every day, because she's exactly right. She knows, because I'm up with her at 1 o'clock in the morning, pushing the last commit to something on Replit. This is what I do all day, every day, and I couldn't do it without AI. I'm multiplying myself 1,000 times with it. Current thoughts on the situation with Iran and South America. I always lose some subscribers when we dive into this, but I don't give a shit. I'm not here to be a slave to YouTube or a slave to subscribers. I voted for Trump. I did everything I could to get everybody on this channel at the time it was time to vote for Trump. I am MAGA. I don't think Trump's perfect. I'm pissed at 18 different things he's doing right now. I can be pissed at the man and still believe in the overall mission. And I believe in the overall mission. I am MAGA. I want America to be great again. The America I grew up in was fucking amazing. And the America I live in right now is unrecognizable to me. And it makes me want to get a ranch and get my kids away from it. And I want it back. And there are two sides of the political aisle. There's the side that hates me and everything that I believe in. Not because I voted for Trump. They hate me in my core, my ethics and my values and where I come from and what I care about and what I think is valuable and what I think is not valuable. They hate me to my core. And the other side, regardless of all their faults and whether I agree with everything they're doing in the world and every political decision that's made, which, by the way, I agree with most of it. So don't start thinking I'm talking shit about my own party. I'm just saying I can be independent in my thinking and still 100% understand that the Republican Party, that the MAGA crowd that I'm a member of, that crowd loves me and loves everything I believe in. And even if they're not doing everything I wish they would be doing, in every situation, they're my fucking people and they're who I'm fighting for. I know what side I'm on. I'm not quiet about what side I'm on. And I hope all of y'all know what side you're on and where you want this country to go, because there's going to come a time very soon when you're going to have to really know your side and things are going to be what they're going to be. But I know what side I'm on, and I think it's clear to y'all what side I'm on. I've tried to be clear about it. Stop that barking. So I think what we did in Venezuela helps secure our hemisphere. I think hemisphere is the word of the year this year. You haven't heard it a whole lot lately, but it will be throughout the year. Hemisphere will have been the word of the year at the end of this year. And as far as Iran, I'd have done the same damn thing to Iran. I don't care if it benefits Israel or not. I'm not concerned with Israel. I think we had every good reason, and it benefits us, and it harms our enemies to fuck up Iran. So I'm glad we're doing that. And I don't think we're going to put boots on the ground. And I'll be pissed if we do put boots on the ground, and I'll still be able to be pissed at my president for one thing and grateful for 18 other things. Gamer Mark said, do you ever sleep in your hat? Like this sometimes, if I'm on a job or something, sometimes I'll put it over my face to block the light, but that's about it. Come in. I hear you. Come in. Yeah. Yeah. What's up?
Mud waters to mud.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand what you said.
Mud ice mixed to get a mud.
Oh, no, you're not going to use that cup to go mix ice and water to make mud. You can go use that cup just to get some ice water, but you can't make mud out of it.
Okay.
Always do better, said I mean reverse prompting. Hey, agent, everything you know about me and my business. How can I make my handyman business better? What are the things you think I could do better? What would you do? Yeah. Treat your agent like an extremely intelligent, like a genius level friend who loves you and wants you to succeed. The amateur said, my brother just joined the Navy not too long ago and he deployed on a carrier. Just hope he comes back all right. I hope he does too. What else, man? We're at 1 hour and 59 minutes. We're going to hit that 2-hour point in 3, 2, 1. 2 hours live. I've covered... Oh, no, I didn't. I got one more left. The Colorado retreat. This is going to be at the end. I guess that's a good thing. So, similar to the Texas Handyman Bunkhouse retreat, which I... See if he gets the door open. There we go. So similar to the retreat in Texas, which y'all need to go sign up for, bulletproofhandyman.com. We have another one in Colorado in June. This one has been, there's no event you can register for yet, but we are doing Colorado in June. It's going to be a Thursday through Sunday. Lodging and meals provided, absolutely free to you. All you got to do is show up, just like the one in Texas. This one is sponsored by 𝗪𝗪, Q-U-O, 𝗪𝗪, formerly Open Phone. They are an app-based, so on your phone, it's an app-based VoIP phone on your phone. So you can have a business phone with a separate business phone number on your phone, and you can use that as your business phone separately from your personal phone. They help you get through the federal regulations that you have to go through to be able to text clients, to be able to text your clients on a business phone in America, because there's a bunch of regulations set up around like spamming and stuff. So they take you through a little form. They basically tell you exactly what to say. You hit submit, you get your approval. Now you're texting your clients on your actual business phone number. Why do you need a business phone number? Lots of lenders and all sorts of other places that you're going to have to deal with as a handyman business. Lots of them are going to view you as more reliable if you have an actual business phone number. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me either. That's just the way it is. But that's 𝗪𝗪, Q-U-O. Link in the description to support them because they're supporting us. Again, if you appreciate the fact that I can get these brands to pay for us to meet up, a whole bunch of us all at once for 4 days, and pay for your meals and your lodging for all of y'all to put this together for us, the way to say thank you, the way that I'm able to do this and not charge, otherwise I'd have to charge a lot of money. The way to do this is for you to just go click that link and check their product out. And if you don't like it, don't buy it. But if you do like it, do buy it. And most importantly, let them know that I sent you, so that they start getting that buildup of everybody saying, oh, and there's a link in the description. So they know I sent you as well by using my link. But the point is, let them know that you appreciate what they're doing, and they will continue to do what they're doing, knowing that it gets them the exposure. Nobody does anything for free. It's not selfless, right? They want you to buy their product. You don't have to buy it, but go check it out to say thank you. And that's 𝗪𝗪, Q-U-O. That's Colorado when we're going to have that event. There's no event for it listed on bulletproofhandyman.com yet. I still need to pick the venue, but the contract is signed. The deal is made. They have committed to sponsoring the event. It's just up to me now to find a venue, pick a date, put the event together so that y'all can get registered for it. Gamer Mark said, I was just wondering, I've never seen you without it. I don't know if it was permanently attached or not. Sometimes in the morning, I'll wear a baseball cap, like my jobber cap or my MAGA cap. I do wear baseball caps occasionally. Sometimes you'll even see me with no hat, although you'd have to watch every single live stream so that every now and then you can see me without a hat on. Always do better said, where in Colorado? Here's the rule. It will be within a 3 or 4 if I have to bump it out to 4. So in other words, a really great location, maybe 4 hours, but otherwise within 3 hours drive time of both Colorado Springs and Denver. I would like to not have anybody drive further than 3 hours. So I'm going to look in that entire big radius. Guess who's going to help me do it? My Claude bot. She already did. It's one of the projects she didn't even talk about. I have an entire pipeline on here where she's collecting up RSS feeds. She's going to special websites that aren't like not VRBO and stuff like that. These more niche websites for renting out church camps and stuff. She's pulling together all this data from everywhere that could host 30 or more people at a time and pulling pricing and all kinds of other stuff and creating a database for me. And when she's done, I'll be able to use that database to filter down, but it will be within that 3-hour drive time. Or she has a special instruction that says, by the way, if anything really stands out as special, but it's 4 hours instead of 3, I do want to know about a few special case scenarios, just in case it's worth the extra drive. Mike says, Texas sounds like it's going to be a great turnout. Can't wait to see the video from it. I wish you could come, sir. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very cool. I'm going to be busy and I'm not going to know what to do with myself. Gamer Mark said, stream's lagging. That's all right. It's about time to get off. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes already. I don't see new questions. The Colorado event was the last thing on my list that I haven't hit. So now's the point where I'm going to bring my boy over here. And we're going to chit-chat with you for a second while I wait for more questions. And if there's no new questions, then we're going to go ahead and shut down. Hello. What's your name?
Austin.
What's your whole name, your full name?
Austin Duke.
Yes, it is. How old are you? How many years?
4 newts on 50.
4 newts on 50?
Yes.
Those aren't real words. How many years are you?
1,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4, 5.
You're only 4. You're not 5 yet.
I counted my toes really tall.
I love you.
1.
You counting your toes?
2, 3.
And your knee?
4.
And your hip?
5.
And your chest?
And 6.
Okay.
And 7.
Yeah.
I 7 newts on.
This is the North Star right here. This is what the ranch is for.
Uh-huh.
These boys and my wife and these boys' boys, their kids, when they have kids and their grandkids, are all going to be able to keep showing up at my ranch. They can have their weddings at my ranch. They can live at my ranch. They can have big old family reunions at my ranch. But whatever happens in the world, there's going to be a piece of land somewhere that they can go back to. There's going to be an anchor for everybody. They can move to Afghanistan for 3 years to be a ski lodge instructor when Afghanistan is peaceful again. Who knows? They can always come back to the ranch. This is not a Yellowstone thing. I don't imagine that I'm going to take control of a valley and fight all of my enemies. It's the opposite of that. I want to get away from everything, man. I want to have a peaceful spot that doesn't have to get connected to everything else. All right. Well, I don't see any new questions, so I tell you what, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.